Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to today's episode of Talking Point. I'm your host, Syed Neaz Ahmad. First of all, let me congratulate you on the beginning of the new Bengali year. Shubho Noboborsho. I'm sorry for the delayed start of this program today because of the huge traffic and because of Easter Friday too. Anyway, let's begin. Our guest today is Mr. S M Alauddin. He is a community worker, has lived in London for several decades, and he has been working with the community and with the young people of this and other areas in London. Welcome to the show, Mr. Alauddin.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I hope that you have not been bothered much by the traffic, but anyway, we are here, you are here.
At least we are here.
At least we are here. Alhamdulillah.
Yes.
Alhamdulillah here, yeah. I would like to know from you your background. How did it start? I mean, you came to London in sometime in 1960s, isn't it?
Yes, 64.
64, the mid of 60s.
Yeah, 60s.
And you were a young man, and you're still young. But how was life here then?
Well, actually, Shubho Noboborsho to all the viewers and the Kalakoshali, and you could yourself.
Thank you. Same to you.
And Shubho Noboborsho and Assalamu alaikum. Yes, it is. I come in here in 1964. It was February. Absolutely snowing when he's arriving in London.
You arrived from Dhaka.
Yes, I'm from Dhaka.
That means such a sudden change.
Yes, certainly sudden change. When I arrived to the airport, I see so much snow. It's the first time I see in my life that was. And very interesting. So when I come in and Heathrow Airport, then my destination to the Sloane Square, which is Victoria Gaffer Street. Is my cousin was used to live there. তো এখানে আবার বাদে তো ওনার সঙ্গে থেকে সাথে হলো তারপরে মামা থাকতেন ক্যামব্রিজে উনি এখানে ব্যবসায়ী ছিলেন তো সেখান পরদিন সকালেই আমাকে ক্যামব্রিজে নিয়ে গেলেন তো সেখানে গিয়ে যা দেখলাম যে অবস্থা তো ওই ওনার রেস্টুরেন্ট লোকে সমৃদ্ধ আছে তো মনে মনে ঠিক করলাম যে দেশে তো মোটামুটি কিছু কাজ করে এসেছিলাম I've been a surveyor also সেখানে যে eliminate the literacy প্রশিক্ষণ ট্রেনিং দিয়েছিলাম এবং শিক্ষকতা করেছিলাম তারপরে I developed my career to be a surveyor.
Land surveyor.
In Bangladesh.
Land surveyor.
Yes, land surveyor. So then you come in 1964 at the Cambridge when I start the part-time. That is the first time I'm learning to the English for foreigners. It was Millman Street in Cambridge. Now it became a college. So then I taken my course to the management. Then I did the course, then engage with the employment. My first job is in to the Chem Tiles in Cambridge, Rostam. So there then, about 6 months later, I changed my work when I went to Birmingham. I worked in the post office. Then involved in the community work. First I started the Maulvi Bazar Janasebha Samiti in Birmingham.
How many members were there?
Any Bangladeshi community or in Birmingham was not that very much. Mostly the Kashmiris, Indians, because obviously Bengali is the newcomers in the United Kingdom. First
They started coming towards the late 50s, isn't it?
Jews, the Indian and Jews, Irish, Indian and the Bangladeshi.
Yes.
So obviously Bangladesh is the e-commerce then is still there. So not very many, but there are more Pakistanis people there, or Kashmiris.
What sort of business or work did they do at that time?
Well, actually, I was involved
Now,
in.
you were lucky. You got yourself educated and all that. See, but
Yeah, well, I work in a restaurant in Birmingham, and after some time, they work in the post office.
right.
So it is very interesting that the wages salary you have got. We compare with the people who work in the restaurant, they get more salary than I have. And obviously they give
Was it because of the tips they got, or?
Yeah, but including that, what I've got is they're giving the 1 shilling and 3 pence for
Right.
the lunch. So shillings, which means 60, 20 shillings equivalent to the pound.
Yeah.
So today it's about 6p. That was for the lunch. So one thing has happened that the for accommodation and the food wasn't that expensive.
But salaries were not high. Wages were not high.
Wages wasn't there, but you see, I started with £7, £7.50 per week.
Yeah.
And including some tips add to it, which roughly about £10–12 per week. So then I went back to Cambridge. So I stay in the called corner house. And that corner house, I was living in the small room, a single room I've taken. I pay for 50p per week, and which is included with the.
Nobody will believe that.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. They provided an additional 216, which is the one shilling.
It's called half a crown or something.
Yes, absolutely, half a crown given to washing the clothes and the dry cleaning and set it up and everything, and change the bed and everything. So that's the thing.
What sort of problems did you face when you came? I mean, the problems are always there, but they are different.
The problems are various, you see. I remember when I was in Balsall Heath Road in Birmingham, Birmingham 5. They're called Balsall Heath Road. Across the road, a little bit further down, to call Digbutt, and there's a pub. So I just noticed that. I just going to walking out and noticed that black and dog are not allowed.
Was it written there?
Written on signboard. So after some time back, it is race relation bring to an action, but they have to set it up. But it will materialize, take a long time.
True. It takes time to change the social pattern, the thinking of the people.
Yes, it does. So obviously,
this was one of the problems, racism.
The racism, yes, the racism is absolutely a big problem there. Racism in a social life, housing, accommodation, employment, and every sector you can go.
Yep.
Even it still exists today. I can't say that it's utilizing it.
We'll talk about that later.
Yes.
Why do you think that Bangladeshis coming from their own country started or went into the business of restaurant? I mean, most likely, most of these people who came from Bangladesh did not have any idea about restaurant business, you see, but when they came here to London or elsewhere, they started cooking rice and curry and selling.
That's a very interesting question you made. It is because you see, when the people are coming from the sea, the seamen, they come into then few friends, they get together and they're just going to cooking and they try to be introduced. The first restaurant here.
What they were called Laskars, is it? Sorry? They were called Laskars, the people who worked on the ship and.
Yeah, people who has come over the ship with the shipmen. They come into the Liverpool and they come into the city and town. and they don't feel like to go back. They were
Yeah.
staying here. So they might only see the better life here.
Yeah.
You see, so they are knowing all-
Bachelors, young, alone.
yeah. So they'll get together and they're starting. The first restaurant, it is in close to the Good Street.
Mhm.
Mr. Al Fattah is his name, and he's just starting, and that I know of. Also, the lately has come the Biryaswamy,
Mhm.
which is not the staff, and
Mhm.
most of the staff from Bangladeshi. Even there Iskandar Mirza.
Yes, yes,
He was the manager of the Biryaswamy.
yes. Yes.
So in
He had to do something.
Yeah. So in particular the Bengali communities over here, we just going to start to the restaurant business because the seamen for our first generation who will come over here,
Mhm.
they set up a restaurant. So
But
whoever-
Veeraswamy is a very high class, upper class
yes, it
restaurant.
is a very high class
Because of
and
its
upper
locations
class.
on Regent Street, and also it's a vegetarian restaurant. Basically it was.
They have to provide the vegetarian, of course, and also the meat and the fish and
Mhm,
you know,
mhm.
other things. And then lately it's coming up the various. I remember I also work in Cambridge, which is called restaurant called Kohinoor,
Mhm, mhm.
which was established by Mr. Bahadur family in 1935. They had a branch in Oxford as
Yes.
well. Yes, I used to work sometime part-time work there. So that's my life is start for the college. Started 9 o'clock, then everything finished by 10:30 or 11 o'clock. Then you had some tea and get ready. Then you open the cards, customer is full up.
Mhm, mhm.
So I left about 2 o'clock, going for a lunch. Then I start for the college, because college starts 3 o'clock, 3 to 5:30.
Okay, on this very interesting point, Mr. Alauddin, we need to take a break. And when we come back, we'll pick up the thread and we'll see how we have done and how are we going
Yes.
in the business of curry business and also other aspects of life. Thank you very much. Don't go away, we'll be back soon.